Welcome back to the Generationals podcast. I'm your host Desmond, here with my co-hosts Riggs and Mario, and we're going to
So
be talking about some stuff today. Mostly going to be talking over the Tyler the Creator album and giving our quick thoughts over on the J. Cole album, The Off Season. So we're just going to jump right into things. But first, usually we've been taking some time away from the podcast due to us being busy. We've been doing a lot of other things, and of course, we can't always keep up with each other's schedules. So today we're gonna be today we got some time, so it's gonna be really nice to do a podcast.
Yep.
All right.
So,
We're gonna go over the J. Cole album very quickly. Today our main topic though is the Tyler Creator album.
so I think Mario should go first on this. Honestly,
okay. Um I've heard this album like a ton now. It's been out for a good minute. When it first came out, I was one of those to have it on repeat. Here within the first 2 seconds it came out,
Alexa, stop.
heard the entire album. um and to sum up my feelings, along with some other ones, because it was a pretty controversial album. A lot of people had some really high expectations, obviously, because it was a really long time coming for the album. And people were expecting like, the next big thing, J. Cole would slaughter everybody and shit on like every name that existed. And that's not really what happened, honestly. He did a little documentary talking about like how he was in the studio, how everything like felt, or how he always felt like he needed to make like the next big song that would last forever. And it was kind of explaining that he didn't really want to do that. He was just kind of like chill, and he was more the point of the album to me was a lot more about the collaborations he did with the features like Moray, 42, or not 42, that was Tyler. But yeah, but yeah, it was a lot more. It was a lot more songs were in the collaborations, and it felt like a lot more of a vibe album, not like a really big hit maker. A lot of emotion and like substance in the album, and while it's not like a really big like on the hit maker status, like you're not gonna like this is not the ones that's gonna like blow up the charts. It's something that's gonna like stick around and you're gonna come back and listen to every now and then. But overall, like my feelings on the album, like I enjoyed the album. It was something really different for what people anticipated. Am I a little disappointed that there wasn't like like the middle child of the song, or I mean like in the album a little bit, but like overall, like the album was just good. J Cole's just always gonna be a good like lyrical rapper. He's always gonna be someone that you want to play, and the features on there were just like amazing. The Murray and
27.
21 Savage song is like my one of my favorite songs. I played that song so often, and the intro is still like I think my favorite song out of the album. Uh, so yeah, I mean that sums up most of my feelings on it. It was just an enjoyable album. It was good. Nothing like crazy over the top like what we expected. He just wanted a vibe, and so I'm gonna vibe with him.
Yeah, I think most of my overall feelings for the album was it was it was vastly different from like the last two albums that he's done, and I think
Hmm.
that's always a good precedent because um, I think if you stick to something like to his style for so long, I think he would probably end up getting sick of it. So
Hmm.
I think it was also just a good thing for him because he also wanted to extend uh his lineup. He was always just regularly wanting to chill
Yeah.
because he's always had so much pressure on him to be the the kind of movement rapper that a lot of people always look towards whenever like a certain kind of topic comes up within the kind of the black community in itself, and also just the rap
Hmm.
community because he is technically uh the uncle of the group, so everybody looks to him to be wise and everything. And I think um to know that he can also just make really good hits within this kind of space is always going to be a great thing. And then the collaborations were they were set there from the documentary as well, but I think what nobody knew what to expect from features. And one of the features that caught me off guard was definitely the Moray one because
Hmm.
he just blew up recently, so that to me was everything. But the Boz and the little baby features were probably like the most
Yeah.
prominent songs to me on the album.
Just
And
named
then
to
like
Lil
just
Jon, right?
yeah,
Yeah, like him being in that intro song was really,
it was
really caught me
crazy.
off
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah, and
Pride is the
people,
Devil is a song that speaks words too.
Yeah.
you know, the little baby feature on that one is crazily insane. You can just tell from everything from Little Baby just transferred onto that song. But I think the song that stood out to me the most, and I think it stood out to a lot of other people, has probably been Omari. That one I just really
Mm.
enjoy overall, just because of the locals and his dialect in that one was fucking interesting. And the music video itself just made the song even better because we just got the fucking 1950s fucking J. Cole. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
overall the
man.
album was a hard slap.
It's a really, really good album. I I I also heard the album like nonstop when it first came out. I don't even know how many times I heard it. I heard it so much that my phone glitched out, and for a month it thought I was still hearing it. Like I'm not even joking. It was just always at the top part saying you're still listening to Amari, and I was like, I don't even have Spotify open.
Yeah.
But fuck the entire album was so good. Mario's thing when the album first came out was just to say it's just a rap diff, dude. He needs to retire.
Yeah.
But
It definitely feels like my opinion changed a little bit over time. I felt like at the time, I mean, I was just hyped up. I wanted to I was a J. Cole fanboy like at that moment. Just like, dude, fucking everybody's bad. But yeah, over some time, I've conflicted with a lot of feelings over the album, and it's like I said, like I definitely don't there's in no way that I like disagree with the album in any way, and I disagree with some people that what they say about the album, but some people are right. Like I said, it's not what people expected. It's not like the big hit maker album, it's just a good album. It's what people should have wanted initially over like what people's like expectations were when the album came out.
Yeah. I think the other thing that
Uh,
a lot of people just stick to is they try to stick to I think with like any artist, they want them to stick to a certain style and stick
yeah.
to like a storytelling kind of theme. And I'm just like, it's never been that way for a lot of artists who have blown up in the way. I think it's
Mhm.
never going to be the same for like most artists in that way because they're always going to want to branch out, but they have to do it in a specific style that doesn't destroy this idea that the fans have or
Mhm.
expectations that the fans have. And I think with this
Yeah.
one, we kind of like somewhat expected it because he's been like talking about it, but he's also been like super low key about it. But I think when the documentary came out, that's when people should have like expected something else differently because it's a entire
Yeah, the
mood of
documentary
fucking
spoke to me a lot and like what he wanted and what he was going to be producing at the time because like I said the documentary tells you a lot about how he just didn't want to be like strapping down making songs every day just to make that one hit single or that one hit album. It was just like it was just about calming down, doing what he wants to do and what makes rap like feel good for him.
yeah. So
Dude's a human
it,
being, guys.
yeah, it was really cool to see just
Mhm.
him well not broaden his style, but like to let us see that he has more than just one style. So it was really good.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, awesome album.
Yeah. Hard listen. I would give it 8 out of 10.
I give it like a 9 out of 10. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me too. There's a lot of songs that I have like a good personal connection to, so it's a bias in that regard for me. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, personally I love it, but so
Yeah, like bare
now
to the bone, you're rating. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So that was the J. Cole album. Now we're gonna move on to the Tyler the Creator album's most recent album, Call Me If You Get Lost. And this one was highly expected for a little while because we had gotten some teasers and some leaks, but overall, I don't think the community wasn't really ready for the actual release of the music because my God, did everybody lose their shit when this got released? So I think if we're gonna go in like style, or like in order. One of the first songs that actually did get released, I wouldn't say fully, but as more of a as more of like an introduction for the album was "What's Your Name?"
No, I think it was
and
Lumberjack, wasn't it?
was it Lumberjack?
Yeah, I think
I
Lumberjack
think
was the
you're
first one.
yeah, you're right. Actually, it's
Yeah,
Lumberjack.
Lumberjack. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the "What's Your Name?" when I enjoyed Lumberjack. That's only because we'll get into that. Um, So when the Lumberjack released, everybody was incredibly hyped. I think one of the things that made me stand out was that it kept continuing to be Tyler's style of music, where it was just the experimentation of the sound and everything within it
Mhm.
was like incredibly high quality. I think a lot of people weren't ready for coming off of his Igor album, because those two are massively different. And I think
Mhm.
that's definitely a good thing within the albums. So what was your guys' most like first thought when you guys heard Lumberjack?
Uh,
My first thought was it sounded a lot like the Tyler that I was initially introduced to. Since I only started listening to Tyler like within the times I started talking to you guys about rap, because I didn't actually know who he was for like the longest time. And so when I heard Lumberjack, it was like the initial like old Tyler rap, like the 2013 like kind of Tyler. So
yeah, the Wolf album.
but huh?
The Wolf album. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that was my initial impression. I thought the whole album was gonna be like that. Uh I was definitely wrong. But yeah, but that was my initial thoughts. It was just I thought it was gonna be old Tyler rap, but I definitely was hella wrong.
My initial thought when I heard Lumberjack was I honestly didn't know how to feel about it. I was going to take time and hear Lumberjack a few more times before the album came out, but just never got around to it because I heard it like 2 times when it first dropped, and I really couldn't tell if I liked it or not. And that was
Mm.
weird for me because I genuinely like almost always love anything this man does, and I did eventually end up really liking the song. It just didn't hit me at first. I'm not sure what stopped it, but I definitely was not sure on my feelings on the song at first. But over time, it really grew on me.
I think my initial reaction was we were gonna get. I felt really excited about it because it felt like the Wolf album to me. I thought
Mhm.
that's how the president was gonna go for the entire album. Again, like Mara said, we were wrong. Um,
Mhm.
but I was also kind of like a little bit sad when I first heard it because I also thought I we just came off of Igor, and Igor is like one of my top 10 albums, and it's my
Yeah.
personal favorite album from Tyler. The sound on that one was incredibly insane, and also just I'm just a fan of like that kind of sound. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that was my initial reaction to the album before it fully released, and then we ended up getting "What's Your Name," and my reaction was as like, we're getting all sorts of sounds, and I was really heavily in love with the "What's Your Name" video
Uh,
that didn't
Yeah, that
feature.
video is pretty great.
we still joke
Yeah,
about the video in the song in
dude,
Yeah.
general.
it's so good. You look malnourished. That's my
Give me
pickup
some
line.
bread.
Yeah.
Bread.
Like drowning the syrup. It's a good song, dude. It's like
Yeah,
it's actually my favorite song out of that. I fucking listen to it so much.
I
it's really
listened to
good.
it too. Kind of when the music video released, it didn't feature the artist that was on it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the
and
meme.
yeah, which turned out wasn't a fucking meme. It was actually a fucking hard, serious
Yeah.
line that didn't hit
Yeah.
me at first until
So the feature for it was Young Boy NBA, and man, dude, we in our was it our last podcast that we did the
Yeah, we joked
that we did the
about him.
22 review? Yeah, that we
Yeah.
just memed on him. Dude, the guy went off.
He got angry.
Yeah.
No. He got angry then soft, and that's what. That's
Yeah,
what
dude, I'm telling you, it's the secret of rap. When rappers go soft, that's when the bars come, dude. When they want to
that's
just
what-
express their feelings like that, that's when they go off like that. And yeah, that was the best showing of Young Boy that I've ever seen, and it's gonna be my favorite for a while because I fucking love that song, and he goes off in that song. So
Yeah.
What I want to say though about not just this song, but really about the whole album in general is that I don't know if Tyler's the one who dictates this, but if he is, then good on him. If it's not, then whoever does this for his music. But whoever decided where to put each feature in each spot of the song did it perfectly. I feel like every single feature happened at the moment it was supposed to happen in each song. Like
Pretty
I
sure.
always felt like they were perfectly timed.
I see what you mean by that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that the when they come in, it's like if it's
It's the
always
right
like
moment of the
hype.
beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tyler dictates that because I don't know if you guys seen like the videos of when he's in the studio or when he talks about being in the
I've
studio,
seen some, yeah.
but he controls the situation like entirely. In his words, he's such he's a narcissist in the studio because he wants everything to be his style, and he's also a perfectionist. So it goes hand in hand with what he wants. And I think it's to me it's come across that way just from the Igor album when he says that because that album pitches perfectly with each song, and I think this album definitely dictates that same thing, and it shows it off so well.
Mhm.
When things get hyped, they get hyped, and then the artist comes in, or when it's his own track and he's doing his thing, you can just tell that you don't know where it's gonna go, but you know it's gonna go really well and
Yeah.
get hyped. So I think but you're definitely right. The album, every song is perfect in a way that it just matches and swirls around really well with each
Yeah, all
other.
well made, super high quality in terms of like positioning of like the features. And it's like they I mean for like any actual like good artist, it's it feels like they actually took the thought into like how every line goes and how every beat goes, or like
Yeah.
where every like feature and beat goes. It's like,
Because
it just comes from a good artist.
honestly speaking, having a feature at the wrong timing of the beat can actually kill a song. Just that alone.
Hmm.
Yeah, it would be like a good representation of that, though.
Trying to
Honest,
think of like songs off the top of my head that would have like a bad like timing feature.
I guess Blueface songs would be like that. What was that one
I
Blueface
was gonna
song?
say any song with Trippy Red in them.
actually true.
That's actually kind of true.
And it's not even because like that we like dislike Trippy Red like as like a group, but it's like a lot of the songs that he's in, because of like how he does like his high pitched vocals. There's a lot of songs that he's in where he comes in and then he just like
Yeah,
he hits a,
he just needs an introduction, like
Also,
something
the
to
older
build
young
into
boy,
him. Yeah, Young Boy too, I guess.
like
But that
that.
was like but I feel like that's different
No, like,
before.
do you remember Young Boy's intro into the Kid Laroi song? It was just fucking
Uh,
ah.
yeah, I think a lot of people with like the like mumble rap kind of type of like style tend to have like less of an impact when they're features, depending on like the song. Obviously, like it's not like that they don't have good songs and like what's
Solo
a good
standpoint.
example of like a Trippy Red feature that was like actually like bearable?
Candy wasn't bad.
Yeah, Candy wasn't that bad.
Candy.
He was only in there for like a whole 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It came in on beat and when like the time was like hype and
Candy,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, just Candy, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's like that's the example of like what we talk about when people use features and they don't work out as like the what the fuck, I'm tired. When they don't work out as planned. And with Tyler the Creator, you just get a vastly different feel from the way he uses his features. They're not just like there to be there, they're there for a reason. And that reason comes across to you very quickly within the song, especially when they go off and the beat and tempo changes with them. It's not just he's making this to make it and just keep it as like a standardized beat. The beat switches and changes with each feature and complements the artist really well. So
Mhm.
I just noticed
And
that from what's your name?
to put that in kind of like a perspective real quick before, because I want to touch up on the whole album too. Um, when it comes to like different tempo changes and like in like the beat, a good example would be like something from the J. Cole album, the Murray and 21 Savage song. Murray is purely there to like lower the tempo and like he's using his vocals to sing, and he doesn't even have like a verse in that song. He's just the chorus. And so uh J. Cole and 21 Savage, they have like this immediately like they J. Cole's like going off, and then the Moray chorus comes on, and then immediately 21 Savage just jumps in right on the beat. And that's like a well positioned feature, like they're there for different purposes, and like what they're good at, and they're exploiting like what their strong suits. So that's pretty much like a what we mean by a good beat and like good features.
Yeah. And the bad example again is Trippie Red just coming in on randomly within times, and Young Boy on his own other songs also just
Yeah.
coming in at weird times and leaving when he has features on. So you can just there's so many examples for them, so you can just look at their history and discography.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and start touching up on the album.
I want to bring
Uh,
up the DJ drama being in most of the album because there's from what I've seen from the internet, there's a lot of mixed reviews on it. I personally don't really have an issue. I can see where some people come from where they say like in some of the songs he throws off the pace a bit, but
Mhm.
for the most part, I don't really have any trouble with the DJ drama popping in songs here and there.
actually, I
Just to
didn't notice
clarify,
that.
DJ Drama's the one that did the like double XL with the like Lil Yachty and them, right?
Yeah, he's also the voice
Yeah,
that's in the first song, and then he talks in corso in between his
Yeah, yeah.
verses. And
I think overall his beats are pretty fine. I mean, I do have like preferred like DJs, I guess you could say.
well, the
But
issue they had was him like coming in and talking on the song in between the verses and shit like that.
oh
Yeah, that's the issue some people were having. I didn't really have an issue with the talking too
no, I
much.
don't I don't think that had an that never really had like a personal impact for me, And it
yeah,
seemed pretty fine to me, yeah.
yeah. It seemed like they were there for a reason, and a lot of time I just kind of like didn't really think about it when he did start talking. Uh, I just never really noticed, honestly.
Yeah, I never. Now that you mention it, it never really came up to me. It's like a thing that like bugged me or anything. Things seems perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I felt the same way. Just something that I saw people complaining about online, so I wanted to bring it up to talk about.
Yeah, I guess if you're that critical about it, maybe it can like turn you the wrong way. But yeah, I personally don't see anything wrong with it.
yeah. I think especially for this album, I think it definitely suits it because now that I am thinking about it, yeah, it definitely suited it, and they were there for kind of a specific reason. I
Hmm.
think it was just to definitely get the narrative across. But I more or less like wasn't really critical of it, and again didn't really go it till now, so definitely didn't bother me. Um, but yeah, I think with the see how many features he has so many features on this one
That's
compared to
why
his last
having them be
album.
perfect beats is really matters.
Yeah, so let's go with the like what do you guys think of like the first like two songs that sense kind of like a precedent for the album,
uh,
which is Store,
um,
Baudelaire, and Corso.
yeah, for the first song, I I thought it was pretty cool intro to it. It was definitely giving me a better feel after hearing what's your name and Lumberjack from before it dropped. Hearing the first song finally gave me like an extra idea what the whole album was gonna be like. And then for what I would say is that the beginning part of the album I did not like immediately. Like I remember the first time I heard through the album, it wasn't until Hot Wind Blows that I finally started to like be like, oh, I really like this.
Mm.
But the more I heard the songs, the first 5 songs on the album, yeah, the first 5 songs on the album, the more I started to really like it. And the one I've been hearing the most now is the second song, Corso. I hear Corso all the time now, like actually all the time. I hear
Mm.
it nonstop, and this is I don't know what it was, but the first time around the songs just didn't hit me, but they
Yeah,
they grew on me so fast. And Corso is just one that I think I'm gonna just like always have on at some point for like the next year.
yeah. Uh,
Um.
good.
Oh, okay. So the first two songs, I actually did not like the first song. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, so
Baudelaire.
I'm just gonna
Baudelaire.
call it. Wait, what is it?
Baudelaire.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
you got it right.
Sir Baudelaire. Yeah, I actually really dislike the song. I didn't vibe with it at all. It didn't really sound good to me, especially from my expectations coming from Lumberjack. So it's still a song I don't really like that much. But Corso, however, I was rocking with that song for immediately when I heard it. That song was super hype. It's like it's kind of aggressive, a little bit mellowed down, a little bit mellowed down here and there, but it's a good song to listen to. And then Lemonhead is actually one of my favorite songs in the album too. Um, I once again I just like how aggressive it is, and I like the 42 Doug feature. I like that he's like a good because 42 Doug like an upcoming artist too, so uh I appreciated how he incorporated him into that song because yeah, it's a lot more aggressively paced, so I appreciated that a lot too. But as
Yeah.
far as the two songs go, the first one was not still something I don't like that much.
Mm. I actually really enjoyed the first song simply because it reminded me of the
Mm.
one of the songs from Wolf, and it was giving me that kind of vibe. And I just really enjoyed like that kind of style of songs where people it's just
Hmm.
not your average introduction for a song, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And then Corso, I kind of at first didn't really notice. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really like pay attention too much to it because I was really looking forward to more of like the some of the later songs, which was definitely one of them being the Little Wayne song. And I
Mm,
was
yeah.
also really looking towards the Manifesto song because Doma Genesis I've heard about a little bit, but not too much. So I was really looking forward to that. But the Corso, when I re-listened to it like a couple of times, I was like, yo, this is it's good shit. It's just it's gonna get me hyped up and get me kind of into the grunge mood of Tyler's album. Definitely giving more of his really early kind of style of his mixtapes. So I was really enjoying that. Um, those first two songs definitely set the mood for me, and I was
Mm.
really getting into the album. By the time I got to Love and Head, and I was like, yeah, I'm just like ready to just dive in fully and just consume. And just his vocals on the first one actually like really made me enjoy the introduction, the first song a lot more than I would say the second song to my
Mm.
first go around. So
I will say because Mario said that Lemonhead was one of his favorites. I that Lemonhead was probably the one that took the longest for me to like. I do like it a lot now, and I'm not really sure. There was just the first 5 songs on the album. I needed time and don't have a reason
Yeah,
for
I
it.
remember
I
you
can't
saying that
explain
you and
it.
Gonzalo didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I can't explain why, but the the first 5 songs of the album, I actually needed time to just keep hearing it.
Hmm.
Eventually all of them hit me. Lemonhead took the longest, but even now I really like it. I don't know what it is. Just sometimes, just with music in general, everybody knows whatever mood you're in can sometimes affect whatever song you're hearing. So you just gotta like hear it sometimes in a couple different moods until you figure out exactly how you feel about the song. You know?
Honestly, I think it's probably I firmly believe that it's partially due just to what how Tyler's music is in general, because it's so vastly different from in terms of like expectation and like and the reality of it too, from what you would expect from like normal like rappers or like rappers that you consistently listen to on a more to more basis. So like, and yeah, comparing like something like this from Igor, it's just like they're just night and day in terms of like how they are. So it makes sense that yeah, it took time for you to uh figure out your feelings on like some of the songs in the album as a whole. Because yeah, it's a really different. Tyler in general is just a really different type of artist, really unique in what he does, and he definitely shows it when making his music.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in the Lemonhead when in my first go around either.
Hmm.
Most because it just like I guess it was vastly different from the first two songs, and I wasn't really in the mood to hear it. I think definitely for me, when I listen to like certain music, I have to be in like a certain mood. And with Tyler, I mostly went into like the Wolf and Igor kind of vibe, and so I was like really in that mood. And then when Lemonhead came on, I was like, "Yo, what the? This is nice, but this isn't what I want." So I was just like, kind of just like listen through it, and I was like really just waiting to get to What's Your Name and Lumberjack, and I was like, this is more of my vibe, and
Hmm.
especially with like Lumberjack setting the mood and What's Your Name, I was definitely wasn't ready to hear Lemonhead, but now Lemonhead is actually like one of the top songs for me, just because of how aggressive it is. 42 Doug's verse in this shit was madly insane. Uh, I also really wasn't prepared for a 42 Doug feature at all
I
because
didn't even know who he was.
you know, well, first we actually heard him before. He was
Did
on
we?
the Moneybag Yo album
Oh, was
a
he?
lot. Yeah, he was like in most of the songs. It was like the album he did with them.
Oh, was it
That's
them
how I know
together?
yeah, it was them together.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
who are
think
we
it was
talking about here?
Moneybag Yo album.
42 Doug. Moneybag 42. I think it was 42 Doug was on the Moneybag Yo album.
Let me look. Let me look.
Was he really? I
He
don't think he
was the
was, right?
song Gunsmoke,
Huh.
and it's apparently one of
Yeah,
the ones I liked because I have it downloaded.
yeah. That's yeah. Because when I heard 42 Doug on that one, I was like, I just for me it was just like insta gangster rapper, so I really wasn't prepared for him to be on the Tyler album. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, all right, this is nice, but it's not what I expected. And then it ended up
I really
becoming
enjoy 42 Duck.
yeah, I could fucking see that.
It was pretty. It all started with For the Gang with Roddy Rich.
Exactly. I knew it was
So
gonna be that one.
I had a yeah. I mean, it's a really good song.
Yeah. You're also just into
And
gangster rap.
yeah, I delved more into his music, and I really I like 42 Doug as like a gangster rap artist. He also has like that. I would say for me, he's like my little TJ because like he has like that really noticeable voice.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about.
Yeah, he got that rainy days kind of voice, but not exactly like rainy days. And yeah,
Yeah, he's a good artist for sure.
yeah, he's for someone that's starting to get more popularity. I think I definitely think he has potential. Uh, the double XL though.
Ooh, fire. Yeah, but those are like the first three songs. So then we're gonna, we've already talked a little bit about What's Your Name and
And we
Lumberjack,
talked about
but I think
Lumberjack.
but one of the things that for the What's Your Name, I think it wasn't just like YoungBoy just coming in on that one, but the Ty Dolla $ign one was also kind of like really crazy to me.
Yeah, he was just in the
Not a lot of
background
people
doing
talk about it.
background vocals, but it was good.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's something you don't really expect from Ty Dolla $ign. You kind of expect him to like show up on the song, because he's always been like that kind of artist, and like people always wanted him to show up. But personally, I think he works really well as just like a background artist and among other things.
He's got good vocals for what he does, and
Yeah.
I'm never too surprised when he shows up on like random songs here and there. I was already I already got surprised by him once, so it'll never happen again.
Fair enough.
Never falling for it again.
Never falling for it again. Uh
Alright. I think the next big song we should talk about would be the Hot Wind Blows. It's the Lil
God,
Wayne
I did
feature.
not expect the Little Wayne fucking to be on this one, dude. and he just fucking just as always, Lil Wayne just shows up and fucking just spits bars.
Yeah, the song is so good. The thing that got me most about the song was just
It's a good
the beat
song.
choice. The beat that they had both of them rap on was not a beat that I was expecting at all, especially with how the previous songs of the album were. The beat that they were
Yeah,
on was really different, and
Hmm.
it actually just made it that much better.
I think it was really nice to see Lil Wayne on a melodic beat. Because like a lot of people, a lot of the times you see Lil Wayne on like really high tempo beats, or like if it's like a really low beat, it's like more of like a kind of like a hip hop vibe, and with you don't see like a lot of melodic beats within some artists. I expected a melodic beat from Tyler, but not one where fucking it had a little Wayne, and that one to me was crazy.
Mm.
What would you say your thoughts are, Mario?
It's a good song.
Yeah,
It's hard for me to like only. It's hard for me to ever downplay Lil Wayne because you guys already know he's like one of my favorite artists.
His only
Um,
artist.
and yeah, to see him on this to see him on this kind of like melodic kind of beat. It's definitely different from like the past features he's been on. A lot of the features that he's been on within recent time, within like the past like 2 years, have all been like a lot of gangster rap. So um, yeah, it was definitely a little bit of change of pace. And I don't. I think what's more important to me is how well he works with Tyler.
oh yeah,
I want to see actually more music with him because
definitely.
like they definitely work in a way I wasn't anticipating. It's kind of like the how I felt about like the Young Boy NBA song. I didn't think that it's something that would like pair well, but like uh it ended up just meeting my expectations like or way over my expectations. So it's like yeah, aside from the song just being like amazing, I think they both work well together. The song is definitely a different pace from what I was expecting, and I would honestly just like to hear more from them, like just those two. I hope like when Lil Wayne decides to have an album, I hope he just has like a random Tyler the Creator feature.
Yeah, that would be lit. I think the other thing is like I think Lil Wayne is definitely the as a feature is definitely different from Young Boy, only because Young Boy has always been an aggressive style kind of rapper to me. Lil Wayne has always been just like, well, I mean, yeah, shut up, Briggs. uh, um, but like Lil Wayne to me has always been kind of more of like a flexible artist, but nobody ever uses him in that sort of way. And then when Tyler has it, I think when Tyler did it, I think it was like a really it was a welcome surprise. That's how I would put it. And so I think especially seeing him used in that sort of way, definitely gets everybody hyped up and happy.
Mhm.
Especially from when fucking Lil Wayne is just hard spitting bars on such a
Mhm.
low tempo beat. And instead of him just like where I think he's with low tempo beats is always either kind of like sung and then rapped at the same time, but with this one he's just rapping the entire time, just going straight off, and that to me is insane.
So the next song we have is Masa by Tyler the
Man,
Creator. And this song I liked a lot. I liked it a lot because in a way he was talking about the fans that don't want to follow him anymore ever since Flower Boy.
Mhm.
And he's also just talking about himself. Like how I think he even mentions in this song specifically that's why the Wolf album it felt so different for compared to like Cherry Bomb and shit, because it was around the time where where puberty hit him. He said where puberty hits him, and he finally feels like this change happening in how he sees life, how he sees himself, how he just sees everything.
Mhm.
So I think the song's pretty powerful from a perspective standpoint.
yeah, I think the other thing that a lot of other people touched on, and it wasn't something I really thought about at first, was how people perceive and use his music as kind of a way, or like in most cases of other artists, they use their kind of music to drive forward a narrative or a message.
Yeah.
And I think with this one, uh, he was like people were like he like low key referenced it, but he was referencing when white boys were talking about like black people, and it's something he's experienced. Is like they use this thing to like to drive up other narratives within the black community. Like what was it? When people say when you have to like stand up for black people and you have to say something and you have to and they use black music, and he was like talking about that. People were like they're always gonna reference this song, and it's and they're gonna use him in that sort of way where it's not a positive net message or a negative, but it's more of just like for their own benefit kind of thing. And I think
Mhm.
that it was like a low key kind of thing, but a lot of people were pointing it out, and that to me is like what significantly made me really notice the song and actually having to listen to it more than a couple of times to understand it. So,
um, yeah, so I guess like I'll touch upon kind of what Riggs said. Um, so the song in a whole of, or in like the shell of it is like a storytelling song. He definitely tells you from like certain age point to age point. Like he starts out when he's 20s to 23 and stuff like that. Um, but the beginning of the song is what interests me, or is what initially got me to like be like, oh, it's gonna be one of these kind of songs where he's like, um, whatever your shit is, man, do it, and like whatever brings you joy, do that because that's your luxury. Um, pretty much just saying, like the whatever you want to do, go do it, and whatever makes you happy is like that's for you. That's so when I initially when that kind of when those first two lines come up, it already just tells you that it's just going to be one of those kind of songs, and then dragging you down through his life and like what he what he experienced. Yeah, it definitely just tells like it's too much for me to explain now, but as like a in terms of like a storytelling, it's a lot to take in. Song
Yeah.
that you can't really listen to once to understand, but once listening to a couple times, you start to get like the underlying meaning. One of the lines I remember is how uh he says like you see me run like thieves in the night, I believe, and then I'm
yeah,
paranoid like I sleep with a gun. Uh, talking about like um at least I believe that's what he's talking about. If running like thieves in the night is either like an homage to the actual song Thieves in the Night, or it's supposed to be like a metaphor to um him like gangbanging or something like that. But I'm not exactly sure what the actual meaning is, but those are how I see them anyways.
he's
But
he's kind of comparing himself to, I think within the song itself without outside forces. A lot of people were saying, I mean, it was definitely with like that. It's he's comparing himself to a kind of like slave in that kind of
mm,
sense, where he's free, where he's running in the night and then he's sleeping with a gun to keep his like his sort of like personal freedom and like
I see, I see.
especially for like his expressions. But it has a lot. The song has like two or three different meanings, so you can take it
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a
anyway.
lot to break down from it. Like
To unpack, yeah.
but that would be like a yeah, that would be like a whole video in itself because there's a lot of sentimental like lyrics in it, a lot of emotion. So it's like that's definitely one of the songs that I wouldn't be able to like confirm or like confirm what like each lyric means. It's just there's just so much to take in with this one.
Yeah, and it's definitely become a lot prevalent, especially within the fan base of Tyler, where a lot of people are like talking about it, and
Hmm.
and there's so many different personal meanings for each person, so anybody can just like change the narrative because it can fit that narrative. So
Hmm.
So the next song we have is "Run It Up" featuring Tizo Touchdown.
man, I
I
got
think it's a
Mario.
great vibe song. Like that, this is a song that I had on pretty often when I was just chilling, like just sitting down, like in a car or something, and just
Hmm.
chilling out. I had this song playing pretty often just because I think it's just a vibe, honestly.
Yeah.
It gave me a little
Uh
bit of those Igor feels.
oh yeah, it definitely gave me a huge Igor feel. Um it was I would say my initial reaction was that I was really hyped up, but then I kind of like I overhyped it up for myself, personally, because I thought this was like that one song in the album where I was really gonna really like it and enjoy it and repeat. But I think it's definitely more of like a vibe song when you're in the mood to listen to that kind of stuff. But again, it's a good song, 100%. I think Tizo does his job really well in
Oh
that,
yeah,
and that they both mix really well within the song. And it's always going to be a really good time anytime you listen to it. But I think it's vastly different. It's kind of like the break from the album itself because it's vastly different every other song within the
yeah.
album. And so it was definitely nice to get that kind of break, especially when you know you didn't need it. You want to wind down a bit, and then you're gonna start picking up pace again. And it's just kind of like it's almost like going through a concert where you're going through the hype stuff, getting you hyped up, toning it down, and then getting hyped up again. I think that's a song represents to me. Um, but definitely it's a fucking huge bop. Fucking, we're gonna run it up, dude.
um, it's gonna be like this for a couple of the songs here because these are ones that I personally like or like I technically breezed over like listening to. Lyrically, there's definitely something here. There's another like it's another story to be told. Like the beginning of the song is literally like saying "fuck you," talking about me, and then like he's saying that he felt like alienated by people who look like him. So there's a lot more to this song that I didn't get to fully uh consume in terms of like listening. But in terms of like how the song goes, I definitely enjoyed it because it's a little bit more upbeat. There's a really the melody and the beat is really nice. The feature I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, same. It's the first time I heard the person.
I've heard him
And
a little bit.
um the chorus is definitely something that would get like stuck in your head. Uh
Run it
just the
up,
we gonna run it up, we gonna run it up.
run it up.
Yep,
I
we're
just
running
might
it up.
spend it all. We gonna run it up, but yeah.
The
This is definitely one I
politicians.
want to. I need to go back to and like listen to more because there's definitely something being told here, but it's just something that I haven't like broke down personally.
Right?
Yeah, I also haven't broken it down personally either. I just kind of took it as just like a
I just took it as a vibe.
yeah, just kind of breezed over it.
Then we have one of my favorites, not my most favorite, but one of my favorite songs on the album, Manifesto, where he just immediately starts talking about how the the people who are like on social media when all the crimes are happening and people like these big pillars in the community where they were hitting up like Kendrick and J. Cole and like you guys need to say something. People look to you for guidance. You're these big names, big voice, got to say something about it. And people were saying the same thing to Tyler, and he's hitting them with the I don't got to say nothing. I live it.
Yeah,
He's like I don't have to make this big o talk about it. I know what's happening. I understand what's happening, and he especially called out the non-black quote unquote allies who like you need to say something and like they put up like the black picture on on the social media and that's all they do. They call it like a good job,
Hmm.
well done. He was especially calling out those people, saying that just because I'm not putting up a black square on my social media doesn't mean like I'm a coon.
yeah. I think the other thing that within this one is he also talks about being just a black man, even though he's rich and everything, and that he's in a position where he has a larger audience, so maybe he should say something. But in reality, yeah, he doesn't have to say anything at all. He lives as a black man in America. He lives just like every other black man in America. He lives, you know, we can live in fear. If we get stopped by the police, we can get shot and killed. You know, this is something that we experience on like a daily basis and have to think about every single day about our interactions. And Tyler is no different. He's literally just a black man who just happens to be rich. And you know, because he's in that position where people you have to say where you should say something, but in reality, we live it just like you do. That's pretty much what he was kind of getting across. And then the Domo Genesis kind of like states, you know, comes in. He's talking about the systemic racism that we do experience and that change does need to happen, but at the same time also promoting peace because you know we can't change things through the same violence that's inflicted onto black people or any other person of color. We need to change it by you know by having peaceful ways and doing all the other things that could help change things. But again, all this does is you know saying that what we've always been saying and but doing it in more a better manner in terms of like what a lot of other people have been doing where it's like radical and doing like these small things and like Rick says just doing something and just calling it a well you know calling it a day and just going on you know those are the people that we don't necessarily really talk about and that always the things that we're always going to experience play a bigger role than anything you can say or do in like one day and then just move on.
Yeah.
So I think that's what more of like he was trying to get across, and you know, among a lot of other things, there's some other things that you can talk about in this song, but there's a lot of messages in this one song, and especially with the feature.
I think one of the ones that spoke out to me the most is so in the song he talks about kind of like I believe one of the bars was covering expensive furniture with plastic, and that's supposed to be a tie-in to how the news will cover up uh like murders in the streets to disassociate with the BLM protests. And yeah, it's supposed to be like a cover up, you know, to do anything to make so the BLM protests like have no substance to them and like make them pretty much just what's the word for it like
It's
derate it pretty much.
to delegitimize.
Yeah, pretty much something like that. Yeah. And so that's what spoke out to me a lot in the song. There's a lot of talk about um a lot of inside works of just how people would pretty much do anything, or I guess like the news, and will do anything to just
Discredit.
yeah, like discredit BLM protests and try to hide up whatever's going on in the world and like what their like true meaning is. So they want to overshadow all of like the BLM protests. And yeah, I think that was the big part that spoke out to me in the song. It's definitely a song that's pretty controversial to what's currently happening. So, and it's something that will like stick like that for a long time too.
Yeah, I think the other thing that a lot of people were trying to say about Tyler is that he lost and I think like this is like a general thing into where people are saying, "Oh, you've lost your ancestral ways of being a black man because you're risen above what your original status of being like a poor black kid."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to me is kind of weird because you can grow up, you know, poor or rich and still have a link to your ancestral ways, or even just like you know older ways, traditional ways. Would be the better way to put it. And like
Mm-hmm.
because he, for which lyric it is, um, oh, I found it. Uh, this, she followed your granny, she obeyed master. Did y'all even ask her? And the thing is, with that, he was like he was calling out the people who were saying, oh, you know, you're not a real black person because you don't follow your traditional ways, and that become like more of this like rich kid who is kind of become like a spoiled brat. But you know, so yeah, that was kind of like the thing a lot of people were coming at him for. And he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna address this, but in his own personal way. He's like, yeah,
Mm.
um, I'm still the same person I was like growing up, but you know, I just became this rich kid.
And now the next song we have is the like 10-minute song that he does
Yeah,
near the
sweet.
end
I
of all of
thought.
his albums.
Man,
And honestly, it was just another vibe for me. It was so good. Like this actually could have been thrown into the Igor album, and it would have fit the context. You know, like
yeah,
it's so good. It's an Igor song, and I love it, dude. I just love Tyler's beats. Dude, there's something different, and that like I don't know how to say it, but like that voice that he did on Igor and he brought back here, it's not even really. It's not technically auto tune, but he like high pitches his voice in some way. It, I don't know how to explain it, but it's so fucking good on
or
the
like
beats that he
robotic.
makes. Yeah, like these
Yeah,
synth beats with that voice that he does, it fits it so well.
Yeah.
yeah, and the features on this one were really well placed too. With Brent and Fana, I really enjoyed Fana's lyrics because I've always been more than just singers. And hers was really well placed within the song, and I think it was really good. My overall thing though, I personally believe, and it's just a personal thing, I think it could have been broken up into like two different songs.
Well, that's its
Me
point.
too.
That's
Yeah,
its whole point. The what he does every
yeah, yeah,
time on all his albums is that he puts the two songs together because that's just his like sign. That's what he likes to do on his
Yeah.
albums.
yeah, yeah. I
So
understand
they're
that,
supposed to be two different songs, but that's just he puts it together because
but I
it's just his
personally would have
call sign.
enjoyed it. It's like the same thing with the Saba album. I would have personally enjoyed with like the Siren song separate from that one because I usually just skip to that one. I enjoy the first song, not gonna lie, but personally, I would rather get to the song that I really enjoy, and the second song on this 9 minute song is the one that I enjoyed the most, and so I would have
Yeah,
rather
me
just
too.
like skip to
I thought
that.
of you.
Yeah,
That you
that's
Yeah.
I just like that one.
They're both two really good songs. I actively avoid them because it's really long and uh I just get distasted by these like 8 to 10 minute songs by any artist, honestly. It's just not my thing to be listening to one song for that long.
Plus, I'm not the attention span anymore.
and I think that's really all to say about it. It's a really good vibe song. I like both, but even if you don't, it is a 9 minute song, so I understand somebody not wanting to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also like a lot of messages within the last couple of these songs, but we can't go over them too much. Because if we did, we'd be here for like 2.5 hours.
There's a
So
couple of songs here we could talk about for like an hour straight.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
uh,
but this one's the message is pretty clear. It's pretty cut and dry. If you do listen to it, definitely both songs though are really good. But personally, just should have just split it. I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
and
Yeah.
now the
Um.
best song on the whole album is the next one. Good old Mama Talk with Tyler Mama Crazy.
Yeah.
That shit's so funny,
Yeah.
dude. Me and Gonzalo were hearing it on the drive to work, and we were just cracking up the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. Like, fuck with
Just
my
his mom
kids.
being his mom being his mom, dude. Bright as fuck.
Really good. I think she's like, I'd be the kids, teachers, principals. Fuck with my kids.
Fucking, I'll beat up your whole family.
Got you,
Tell them
motherfucker.
I'm a crazy. Yeah,
Yup.
this one's pretty funny. It was good flavor to add into this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Eh,
All right, so the next song we have is Rise featuring Daisy World. I have no idea who Daisy World is. I
Same.
didn't know.
Don't no clue.
Had no idea
Neither
who it
do
was,
I.
but it wasn't really that bad of a song. I really enjoyed it. Um, the flavor of the song was really, really different. It definitely kind of threw me off. Coming from Sweet, I thought I wanted you to dance, and yeah, there really is. I didn't really listen to it too much. I kind of breezed over it, and I still kind of do breeze over it, but I
I
still
like it a
enjoy the
lot.
song.
I like it a lot because that chorus, dude. Just
The chorus is really
rise
good,
to the
but I
top.
really,
Feel
I'm
but
it
I
right
telling you
now.
right now. Yeah.
I personally enjoyed the drums on this song a lot more though. It's because they're just fucking good, dude. And
What
it's like
gets stuck
drums.
in my head too is that please don't go. Please just stay. Please don't go. Please just stay. And
Please just stay.
funny enough, if you hear any song with J. Cole right before hearing this song, your mind, at least my mind, it tells me it's J. Cole. I'm like, I know it's not. But because I just heard J. Cole and his voice is the same monotone level, like if you hear
Mhm.
it back to back, it's close, dude. It's close.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
think
thoughts,
it's a good
Mario?
chorus.
I don't have any like wide opinions on this one. This one just felt more like a vibe to me. Once again, it's just another one of those. There probably is a deeper lyrical meaning to it that I just personally didn't pay like too much attention to. And I listen to the song pretty frequently too, but it's just something that I don't like. I haven't broke down because a lot of the other songs to me felt like there was more to break down for. And like there's something here, but it's just something I didn't personally pay attention to.
And then we have the 57-second song "Blessed."
I think Bless is cool.
Blessed is
Yeah, I
really
like
cool because
Bless.
he's just having a conversation with you.
Yeah, he's telling you
Um,
that about his career, how he's perfect now. Everything is great about him except for the fact that his hair don't grow.
yeah, this
And
is the dude saying he's blessed and talking about what he's going through.
This this one made me laugh because the part that always gets me is when he says the only flaw is my fucking hair won't grow.
yeah,
That one gets me
it's been
every
like
time,
2 years
dude.
and got like an inch.
Shit like pooches.
Motherfucker's hair actually won't grow.
Yeah. That one I really like this one. This one. Yeah, Bless is pretty good flavor to the album too.
Yeah. Then we have Juggernaut,
Yeah,
which this one had a video dropped without the features, of course, 'cause none of the videos had the features on them.
Hmm.
But this song was dropped a video after the album dropped, and honestly, it's pretty good, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially
I
this is
definitely,
the video where he's on on top of the monster truck, right? And he's just there like,
Yeah.
yeah, that dude's fucking jacked too. Fucking Tyler's hard jack. Uh, but
you gotta be jacked to pound those men.
yeah, dude, fucking, it's gonna go, I'm gonna go fucking dig down a dude. Um, I actually really enjoyed Little Uzi verse on
Oh
this.
yeah, Pharrell too.
Um,
They both popped.
yeah, Pharrell too. But I personally just enjoyed Uzi's more than Pharrell's only because
Hmm.
I'm a fucking, I'm actually an Uzi fan. So, um, yeah. Uh, I don't know what to really expect from. I think my first go around was it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed Uzi's part at first, but then I really ended up enjoying the whole song as a whole because my perspective changed when I started re-listening to the album because this one it felt to me at first out of place, but then it felt very executed very well. Um, Specifically because of the beat was really really good. Uh, there's not really a whole lot to say because I didn't really like look at the messages. I just really just took it at this song as face value because of just just the music being on it.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna say I'm like 100% certain, but I'm fairly certain that this is like a flex song. At least it comes off that way to me. But I think the thing that's worth talking about here too is have any of you guys ever heard Pharrell rap? Because I
Yeah.
am I the only one that hasn't?
No, remember he was I showed you in that he didn't technically rap in there, but it was the first time that made me look into it in that album with what's the name? I can't think of it right now. Shit, I'll bring it up later. But yeah, we
Okay, yeah,
have.
because
We have.
I yeah, from what I remembered, anyways. Yeah, I guess now that you bring it into fruition, I guess I might have heard it, but uh, yeah, I don't think I've ever. I wasn't expecting like Pharrell to be rapping because I mean I primarily know him from like the three like hit songs that he had that he sang in. So yeah, it was pretty off putting to me at first. I didn't even know it was him, and I didn't want to believe it was him. So I was just genuinely confused, and yeah, I honestly I like the song a lot too. the Lil Uzi, both Lil Uzi and both Pharrell did really well on their verses.
Run the Jewels album.
Run the Jewel. Oh,
Yeah, he
we'll
had the
talk about
song.
that after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll bring that back up later. But as far as like the song goes, it definitely feels like a flex song. I think the two features worked well with it, surprisingly, from what my expectations were. I didn't think actually Lil Uzi would be someone that could pair well with Tyler. Because Lil Uzi's style is like vastly different from what Tyler is. So it just didn't feel like, even on this like more like flex type of song, it didn't really feel like he would go off, but definitely felt a lot better. So yeah, personally, I like the song a lot. It was a good song.
Yeah. So next we have Wilshire. I don't know really what to think about this song. This song, number one, was just too long for me.
Mhm.
But man, the fucking beat just goes so goddamn well in this song. I really enjoy this. More than a lot of other people expected.
Yeah, the
And
Will Sire was interesting. Honestly, both the last two songs are interesting. I felt like after Juggernaut, it makes me feel like either the album should have ended on Juggernaut, or Juggernaut should have been up there in the first 5 songs of the album. Because I feel like the album did a lot of toning down, and then it
Mhm.
picked back up, and then it tried to tone back down in the last 2 songs at the end.
I personally thought it was more placed in that sense because of, I think after Rise, I kind of felt like Juggernaut was definitely a lot. I felt after Rise, it felt like it needed to be there only because Bless then came in and was like talking about what he's accomplished and everything. It's just a flex song. So I think Wilshire definitely kind of just like comes in and tones that down because, oh yeah, I flex, but I'm gonna go back to what I was actually doing. That's the kind of vibe I got from the placement of the songs. But it could be again, Tyler's just fucking could also just be mad weird and just be like, yeah, fuck this, just put it there.
I mean, Tyler's gonna do what Tyler wants, man. We've learned this.
Yeah.
But what do you think of
Man, this
Wilshire,
song,
Mario?
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
I just said, what do you think of Wilshire?
Wilshire is I don't even know how to put this one into words, because you guys are kind of right on the fact that it's such a large tempo beat and like change up from what Juggernaut was, and then when Safari comes up, it's like it's like way different. But yeah, I think this is one of the Wilshire is definitely one of the ones I didn't really delve too hard into. It's just like another
Same.
one of the passerby ones, because it felt really oddly positioned in terms of where the album was and where Juggernaut was placed. Like, yeah, I think Juggernaut definitely deserved to be more up in the album, because it definitely off-putted the last two songs for me. Because this one I honestly didn't get too big in like delving into. So yeah, I actually don't have an opinion on this one. I have more of an opinion on Safari, because I actually really like Safari, but Wilshire I definitely like. It's one that I definitely missed out on.
Well, then let's talk about Safari. Safari, I like the song, but I think it's actually the song I've heard the least out of everything.
Mm.
yeah, I would
I
also
like
say
it, but
Safari
I
is my
think I've heard
least
it the least.
listened to. But I will say that Safari is just like that one song. It's kind of like a mini flex in what he's talking about because
Hmm.
he's talking about his experience, like how I get to go wherever the fuck I want, and I got a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Grammy. I got
Yeah,
a fucking Grammy. I
I
get to
just
take that
vibe
home
to
and
the
none of
song.
y'all niggas can fuck with me. That was like that to me was like, yo, what the fuck? This dude is
Yeah.
going off.
I just be vibing to it nonstop, honestly. Like
Yeah,
every time it pops on.
but he was
Yeah,
also
this
just
one I enjoyed a lot. I like
yeah,
the see the world open your eyes till your back hurts, get bread won't leave. And then start with your feet, then a car, then an airport, yeah.
yeah, and then he just got to do a lot. He was just talking about his experience of you know my fucking garage looked kind of weird because I got all these fucking cars. It looks like a loony bin.
Yeah.
And that to me was like, yo, that was actually just a clean ass line. Oh man. And then the Grammy thing was like really fucking cool because if for nobody that knows, fucking he just what did he do? He fucking took the Grammy home and at the speech he was like, yeah, this fucking person's mad as fuck because she banned me from the country for 5 years, but now look at this, I'm in your fucking country and I got your goddamn Grammy, and I just went home and took that shit. I was like, yo, that was really cool. And then he's just talking about him, being rich and shit. It's just a massive flood song, but it's like super low key about it at the same time, and I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the songs I enjoy most out of the album too, because like it's a good vibe song.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, uh, final touches. What is your overall rating on the album out of 10? Starting off with Dez.
I'm gonna give it a 10, personally, because there's so much substance on this album. The features on this are incredibly well placed and well put, and that they're just fucking really well made and high quality. And among a lot of other things, this just has so much replayability within itself that you can just bop for it for so long, and I think it has more personal meaning to Tyler for especially on this album. So I think that's something that we rarely ever get, because a lot of the time we get you know these well experimented songs that are like showing cases of his style and mood, but we never gotten Tyler like this on more of like a personal level, and him saying just stuff on his mind. So that to me is like says a lot for about his music on especially this album.
I think the album for me is like a 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 out of 10, but like Igor is a 10 out of 10 album for me. So he would have to be just as good or better than Igor to get a 10 on another album. And the off putting at the end between Juggernaut, Wilshire, and Safari, that should knock it down to 1 point for me, really. But overall, I still like the entirety of the album. Just the little weird pacing that I felt in the last three songs would put it down to a 9.
I'm also gonna give it a 10 out of 10, and I'm going to dismount what Rick said in terms of like comparing it to Igor, because I feel like this album definitely gives in a lot more to what that we're not listening to. Like I said, like Desmond said, there's a lot of substance here. There's a lot of good lyrical wordplay and a lot of things that he's talking about that I definitely don't think that we all caught on. And so even over time, I feel like it's going to be something that the more we hear, the more we're going to appreciate it more for what he's saying and like what he's talking about in the album. Because this one definitely had a lot more feeling in it, um, and as opposed to just being like a massive hit maker in my opinion. Because I think this is one of his best works. And yeah, the features on it, they're all different. They're all unique. They all serve different roles and purposes. So to me anyways, I think that this 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 song this song has a lot to offer. Or this album has a lot to offer, even in speaking in towards the future tense, because I know we've all listened to Igor a lot and we all love Igor as an album, but this one definitely is worthy of a 10 spot.
All right. On that
And
note,
yeah,
Des, can you take us out?
Yep. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. I know we didn't really go into too much detail with a lot of the songs, but a lot of the songs that we did go into detail in, if you guys enjoyed those, this is a really good album. Highly recommend you listen. Make sure you guys follow us on our social media. Me at Desmond DeRay, Riggs at One Trick Daddy. Make sure you guys also follow his stream, as he does stream for a charity called Extra Life that donates to children's hospitals. Please make sure you guys go and give him a follow and check him out. And of course, also our boy Mario at Scarada Evil. Make sure you guys give him a big follow. He's a big card gamer, and I'm a photographer at Desmond DeRay. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see y'all later in the next one.
peace out, everybody.
Peace out.